Và một nhân phẩm tiếp theo tôi xin gửi tới tất cả quý vị một bài hát của Secret Garden, bài hát You Raise Me Up. Xin mời quý vị cùng thưởng thức. So weary when troubles come and my heart in then I am still away here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Phương. You literally have the voice of an angel. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Just a little bit of trivia about Hoai Phương actually. She was actually a volunteer with our playgroups for about 2 years, and then she decided to do some training with our registered training organisation, and now she's an aged care worker with AVWA. So we're so proud of her. Well done, Hoai Phương. I have to apologise as the Hall's audiovisual has decided to go into early retirement, so we won't have the presentation as planned. So I'm probably going to have to talk you through each slide one by one. I'm only joking. And we actually have Vietnamese subtitles that were available via AI as well, so we'll have to show you that some other time. Hopefully we won't need to use them, but the escape routes are to my right and to my left, and also the bathrooms are just to the back left, my left that is. So I'll just ask everyone to put their phones onto shush mode as well, if that's okay, before I start officially. Thank you. Kính chào tất cả quý vị. Hello everyone, my name is Nikki Chung and I'm the proud CEO of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association. A warm welcome to you all to our 41st Annual General Meeting. AVWA has been serving the community for over 41 years, and now we have 410 wonderful staff and 53 fabulous volunteers who make this organisation the success that it is. We love you and we thank you. Today I'm grateful to be here with you on Wurundjeri country, and would like to recognise the unique connection of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders to land, sea and sky, where we work, play and learn. I pay my respects to all First Nations people. AVWA is committed to fostering an inclusive, safe and respectful environment for all, celebrating diversity and empowering each individual to achieve their fullest potential. I would like to recognise that in addition to our founder and president, Cam Nguyen, OAM, our founding member, and Vice President Tan Kam Trandang, OAM, and all our Committee of Management members, staff, volunteers and AVWA members, we are pleased to welcome our guest of honour, the Honourable Jacinta Allen MP, Premier of Victoria. Hold on 2 seconds. Thank you. We'd also like to welcome Federal Member for Fraser, Dr. Daniel Molino. Representing the State Opposition Leader, Mr. John Pasuto and Mr. Trung Lu, we have Cindy McLeish, Member for Eildon.
And please accept my apology. Normally we had planned to have the unit in English screen so we could follow, and then present in Vietnamese to our dear members, but due to the technical issues, so please allow me just 2 minutes to present the units to get confirmed by our dear members of the units. Thank you. Kính thưa quý vị, khách và quý hội viên thân mến, tôi tên Mai Lan Nguyễn, là tổng thư ký của Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc, xin phép lên đây để trình bày với quý vị cái biên bản của buổi hội nghị thường niên năm ngoái, và sau đó thì xin phép được cái sự thông qua của quý vị để chúng ta tiếp tục cái chương trình của chúng ta hôm nay. Tôi xin phép được đọc lại cái biên bản của năm vừa rồi là Đại hội thường niên Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc lần thứ 40 diễn ra ngày 27 tháng 10 năm 2023 vào lúc 10 giờ 15 sáng và kết thúc lúc 1 giờ trưa tại địa điểm Richmond Town Hall, tòa thị trấn Richmond ở số 333 Beach Road, Richmond, và đồng thời cũng qua hệ thống mạng Zoom với sự hiện diện của các thành viên Ban Quản trị Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc, cô Nikki Chung, Tổng Giám đốc Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc, các thành viên Ban Giám đốc điều hành, cùng nhân viên và thiện nguyện viên của Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc, quý khách mời, quý hội viên và cảm tình viên.
Chương trình buổi họp Đại hội thường niên bắt đầu với lời chào mừng quan khách của bà hội trưởng Viet-Úc Cẩm. Sau đó là phần trình bày biên bản Đại hội thường niên lần thứ 39 do bà Nguyễn Mai Lan, Tổng thư ký đảm nhiệm. Biên bản đã được chấp nhận và thông qua bởi bà hội trưởng và toàn thể các hội viên có mặt. Tiếp theo sau đó là bài diễn văn của bà hội trưởng Viet-Úc Cẩm. Kế tiếp đó là phần phát biểu của cô Tổng Giám đốc Nikki Chung, tóm tắt những thành quả hội đã đạt được trong năm trước. Và sau đó là phần báo cáo tài chính của bà thủ quỹ Trần. Xin lỗi quý vị. Và sau đó là phần báo cáo tài chính của bà thủ quỹ Trần Mỹ Hạnh với sự báo cáo tổng doanh thu là 34.237.257 đô la so với năm trước là 25.603.959 đô la. Số tiền dư đạt được là 2.571.769 đô la so với năm trước là khoảng 2.400.000. Các hội viên đã chấp thuận thông qua bản báo cáo tài chính và đồng ý để cho nhóm kiểm toán DFK BKM tiếp tục phục vụ cho hội trong năm tài khóa 2023-2024. Kế đến là phần bầu cử cho việc tăng lệ phí niên liễn là 20 đồng một năm hoặc là 50 đồng trong 3 năm. Và kết quả bầu là được số phiếu thuận với mức đa số tuyệt đối. Tiếp theo là chúng tôi bầu để thay đổi thể thức bầu ban quản trị mỗi 3 năm một lần thay vì là mỗi năm. Bầu cử đã được tiến hành với sự giám sát và điều khiển của anh Huy Luân và anh Hùng Lý. Và kết quả bầu cử là 41 phiếu thuận trên tổng số hội viên tham dự là 53 hội viên, tức là đã đạt được 77% phiếu thuận. Sau đó thì Tổng thư ký Mai Lan Nguyễn công bố và giới thiệu ban quản trị cho nhiệm kỳ 23-26 gồm có bà hội trưởng Viet-Úc Cẩm, bà hội phó Trần Đăng Thanh Khâm OAM, Tổng thư ký Mai Lan Nguyễn và bà thủ quỹ Trần Mỹ Hạnh cùng với các thành viên là Thủy Đặng, Mai Hương Nguyễn, Anna Trần Bơ Xu, Cúc Lâm và Trinh Phan. Đây là bản biên bản của cái đại hội thường niên 40 năm vừa rồi. Sau đây quý vị hội viên mình có cái lá phiếu màu xanh, lúc nãy mình vô mỗi người có một lá phiếu. Xin quý vị vui lòng đưa lên để nếu quý vị đồng ý thông qua cái bản biên bản ngày hôm nay. Xin cảm ơn. Nếu quý vị nào chưa kịp lấy cái lá phiếu, quý vị giơ tay lên cũng được. Cảm ơn. Chỉ là để đồng ý thông qua là cái bản biên bản. Nếu mà quý vị không có ý kiến gì. I just asked the members to raise their hand if they agree to pass the motion to the minutes. Dạ, xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Thank you, Myla. Much appreciated. I would like to welcome the Honourable Jacinta Allen, MP, Premier of Victoria. Premier, I just mentioned to everybody that the AV decided to go into early retirement, unfortunately, so the slides that we were going to present aren't available, so I'll just get straight into my CEO report. Following that, I will ask our guest of honour, the Premier, to say a few words, and then we might ask the Premier, Can and Come to assist us in presenting our service awards to our wonderful employees. We are in the second year of our Thrive Plan 3-year strategic roadmap, and we are powerfully delivering on our key pillars of people-first culture, improving systems and process, and preparing for growth. As a result of this multidisciplinary approach, we are strengthening our organisation and strengthening our community. At the end of June 2024, AVWA had a total of 389 staff and 49 volunteers with the turnover rate of 7%. I'm really proud to be part of an organisation that can attract, retain and engage extraordinary talent, people who are values-led and are providing care with compassion. This year we focused our attention on self-care. being key in being able to deliver the highest quality care and community services. On Are You OK Day, on the 14th of September 2023, we launched an employee wellbeing campaign, which included the introduction of AVWA's first employee assistance program for staff and their household members to receive free confidential counselling that can be provided in language. Our Leadership in Action and Lean Operational Excellence programs continue to go from strength to strength. We had many more emerging leaders receiving quality learning experiences to help them confidently step into their leadership and work collaboratively to optimise our processes. Our first employee and volunteer engagement survey that was conducted in August 2023 had a participant rate of 69% and yielded an 88% satisfaction rating. Improving the health, happiness and well-being of our staff invariably has a positive return on our community. Another first this year was the implementation of our scholarship program. Following a generous bequest, we wanted the donation to have a direct benefit to education and employment. In May, I was delighted to announce that we had successfully selected 2 very deserving recipients, one external and one internal recipient, which makes me very happy. It is our aspiration to understand the voice of our customer, to provide a premier service through leading practice. I would like to thank our people and performance team that delivered our first all of AVWA consumer survey during April and May. We had an extraordinary 1,505 consumers across our program areas participate, including aged and disability clients, social support group clients, our registered training organisation students, and our playgroups participants, just the adults, not the little ones. We had an incredible outcome. Our consumers described us as friendly, supportive, and as providing great service, giving an overall satisfaction rating of 94%. We asked our consumers on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely they were to recommend our program to family, friends, or people needing services. The result, 9.33 out of 10. Most interestingly, a total of 509 respondents indicated that AVWA should provide a home meal delivery service. This has spurred us into action. As we age, enjoying our food and having nutritious meals becomes increasingly important. It was concerning to hear that many aged recipients have little choice for culturally appropriate meals to be delivered to their homes. At AVWA, we know we can do better for our community, and we will do better. In the 2021 census, there were 14,279 people in the North Metro region that speak Vietnamese. We are thrilled to have acquired the keys to our new Thomastown office on the 1st of July 2024, which will enable us to provide much needed essential care and community services in the North. The full financial report, this is exciting. Is it coming along? Woohoo! The full financial report will follow later, but the headlines are: this year marks the 3rd consecutive year that AVWA has achieved a growth rate of approximately 30%. We achieved a total income of $44.5 million, reflecting an increase of 32% over the last year. We celebrated 20 years of our home care package program, starting with just 20 packages. We concluded FY24 with 1,179 home care packages, 14 social support groups for older people, 4 dementia support groups and 10 playgroups. Our RTO had 440 enrolments across our pre-accredited, accredited and reconnect programs, and AVWA has helped countless individuals and families with matters related to gambling, family violence, alcohol and other drugs, and through our prison support program. AVWA's outlook is bold and bright. The most recent employee and volunteer engagement survey conducted in August 2024 had a participation rate of 72% and 90% satisfaction rating. This forthcoming financial year will see us focus on expanding our impact to community. Last month, AVWA partnered with Oteo Kitchen to successfully pilot a culturally appropriate home meal delivery service for our clients in the Richmond area and surrounds. On the 1st of November, we will take on 65 Commonwealth Home Support Program and Meals clients from the Brimbank region, expanding to other local government areas thereafter. We will be delivering 200 home-style nutritious meals in the first week, and we will be delivering a projected 2,000 meals a week by this time next year. 2025 marks 50 years of Vietnamese settlement in Australia after the Vietnam War. I acknowledge that this will be a sensitive time for many, not just refugees. AVWA would like to lead the way in commemorating the 50th year anniversary and have partnered with the National Vietnam Veterans Museum on Phillip Island in the beautiful Bass Coast for a special event in March that will, 1, express gratitude to the veterans and to all Australians for their part in enabling us to thrive in this wonderful country. 2, engage our youth to understand their parents' challenges, connecting them to the sacrifices made and the resilience from which they come. And 3, promote social cohesion and harmony, as now, more than ever, we must demonstrate what can be achieved together by celebrating inclusion and shared values. We have learned a lot in 50 years, and we are preparing to share our learnings with other emerging groups. More work will be done in the intercultural space. Later, our mental health and wellbeing coordinator, the wonderful Ang Bui, will be delivering a presentation on AVWA's growth agenda for our mental health program. From state government grant funding, we successfully delivered an online platform in March for people to access mental health information and resources in language via our Pathways to Wellbeing app. We will amp up our engagement with youth, expanding our successful after-school tutoring program to the west and to the southeast. What a great model, where students from St Kevin's and Melbourne Girls Colleges come to tutor and mentor the primary school children in Richmond. Our aspiration for a residential aged care facility adjacent to an early learning centre as part of an intergenerational facility is absolutely still alive and well. It is my privilege to be part of a wonderful organisation with wonderful staff and volunteers that are committed to their craft of care and compassion for their community. I would like to thank the brilliant senior management team, Hieng, Hua, Thuy, Nam, Huey, Linh Hương, Phương, Dũng, Tuấn and Huy, and more recently, Văn Ha and Quỳnh Hương. Finally, I would like to thank our 9 members of the AVWA's Committee of Management, led by the founder president, Cam Nguyen. I acknowledge that you've had an incredibly busy year, and as we further prepare for industry reform and significant growth. Thank you. I would like to welcome the Honourable Jacinta Allen MP, Premier of Victoria, to say a few words. Thank you so much for being here today and leading the state with courage and consideration. In my 2 years at AVWA, it's been a pleasure to work with your ministers, and we're so grateful for the support for our work for the Victorian community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for your welcome and introduction. And can I also start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're gathered, the Wurundjeri people, and pay my respects to elders past and present and any who may be with us here today. And it's wonderful to join you here this morning, and I'm joined by a number of parliamentary colleagues across the federal and state parliament, which I think is a great recognition of the important work of the AVWA right across the state. So can I acknowledge the federal member for Fraser, Daniel Molino, to Cindy McLeish, representing the Liberal Party and the member for Eildon, to Alan Sandell, the member for Melbourne. Also to so many representatives from across the Vietnamese community here in Melbourne, to Can Nguyen, of course, the wonderful founder and president of AVWA. We've heard from Nikki. What an impressive outline of a year you've had that you've just taken us through. Congratulations to you. the Committee of Management and the entire AVWA team for the work you've done with us over the last year. Also too, can I acknowledge Viv Nguyen as well, the Chair of the Victoria Multicultural Commission, who is amongst many of the leadership of across the Victorian community and the Vietnamese community who are with us here today. And I'm really thrilled to have the opportunity to share a part of this important annual meeting, this important annual event, to really thank you and recognise the incredible work of this organisation, an organisation that is just so important to supporting our communities right across the state. And on reflecting about coming here today, I was struck that it was only a year ago, it was about this time last year, that I had the opportunity to meet with so many of you on the other side of town. We were over in Springvale supporting our wonderful then candidate for Mulgrave and now member for Mulgrave, Eden Foster. And I was not, alongside being so touched by the warmth and generosity of the welcome that I received, but I was just so deeply impressed by that incredible facility that you have in the Springvale community, but also the huge range of services and supports you provide to the Vietnamese community, to women in the Vietnamese community. And it was, I think we snuck in and saw one of the playgroup sessions on that day, and to see the work you do firsthand really has left a deep impression upon me in terms of how you do this each and every day, 7 days a week, supporting the community and really providing that practical support that makes such a big difference right across the state. And I mentioned Nikki's outline of the achievements of the past year. It's been another big year, and I want to thank you for everything that you have achieved. And also too, to think about how you're continuing to look forward with growth and opportunity. But it is worth thinking back to 41 years ago, Can, when you first established and founded the Australian Vietnamese Women's Welfare Association. Back then, 41 years ago, it was a bit smaller. It was a smaller group that equally had that drive and determination to support Vietnamese women here in Melbourne and Victoria, to help families settle in to their new life, their new home and their new communities in Victoria. All these years later, as we can see, 41 years later, to look, Cam, at what has grown over that period of time is a great credit to everyone who's worked on this journey, and also to be a big employer of 400 people. As we've heard, the new facilities in Thomastown, I've referenced Springvale, Braybrook and Richmond. But most importantly, what sits behind the bricks and mortar of those facilities is the services and the support, and how you've helped countless families and people in that really important role too. Really important role in recognising and supporting Vietnamese Victorians. And I also want to recognise Vietnamese Victorians for that incredibly enormous impact that you have made in shaping our state to be the great state it is today. And that is a contribution that absolutely deserves to be acknowledged. When Vietnamese Victorians, as we know, were first counted in the census back in 1976, the number came up as 382. Well, today there are more than 120,000 strong, proud Victorians with their great Vietnamese ancestry. And that what sits behind each and every one of those numbers are families, generations of families and people who've not just built homes and lives, but built businesses, and as I said before, have really shaped our great city and state to make it what it is today. But I also wanted just to pause and reflect on how building a new home, starting a new home and a new life here in Melbourne and Victoria, I deeply appreciate also that means you don't stop thinking about your old home. You don't stop thinking about your family and loved ones who may be continuing to live in Vietnam, and that you continue to have that strong connection to the country and culture. It might be from yourself or from parents or grandparents. And I wanted to say very clearly today that in our Labor government, you will always have a government that understands that and understands that connection, but also too wants to work with you to continue to celebrate your contribution and your culture whilst we continue to support that connection, because recognising that heritage also means recognising history, recognising and remembering history. Nikki touched on this next year being a very important anniversary 50 years on from the end of that conflict, from the end of the Vietnam War, and certainly the consequences of that conflict do endure. And it is an important occasion for commemoration, for remembering. And I wanted to share with you today to say that I want to work alongside Victoria's Vietnamese communities to understand how we should commemorate this occasion. And some of those ideas have been shared with us already. Because whilst this was clearly a big international world event, it touched so many of you on a deeply personal level, who you learned not as other generations have done through war, through books or documentaries. You've lived it through your own experiences and through your own family's histories. And for so many, it was the reason why you came to Australia, and we are so proud that you chose Melbourne and Victoria as your home. We're also proud to be supporting Australia's first Vietnamese museum, recognising that refugee and migrant history. And I want to work, as I said, I really want to look forward to working with Vietnamese communities to appropriately mark the anniversary of the war's end. And my door is certainly open to hearing from you ideas and, again, practical ways that we can support you to commemorate this occasion. I also want to finish by thanking every single hardworking member, and I know you are all very, very hardworking members of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association. Just as the Vietnamese population has grown over this period of time, so have you as an organisation. But what has not changed across each of those 41 years is the heart that's guided you from the very beginning. You live your values of integrity, respect, inclusion and compassion, and most critically, you make a difference, a big difference each and every day across all of those sectors, from the littlest of Victorians in childcare all the way through to taking deep care and showing respect to our older Victorians as well, helping people through tough times or helping them to get that practical training to get ahead. This is a wonderful contribution, an important contribution, one that we're celebrating here today, one that we'll celebrate each and every day. And if I can use a reference that Nikki just made, the outlook for the AVWA is most certainly be bold and bright. It is a bold and bright outlook for the AVWA, and I want to finish again by thanking you. Thank you, and it's a real honour to join your meeting tonight.
We're going to ask the Premier to stay up on stage, and we're going to invite Han Nguyen up, founder and president of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association, and also 2021 Victorian Senior Australian of the Year. And we're also going to ask Paul Calm if he'd like to kindly come up as well to present the service awards for our staff, who have had 5, 10, 15, 20, and one special one with 16 years of service as well. Paul Calm is actually one of the founding members and the current Vice President. We're going to also invite Thuy Nguyen, our incredibly hard-working Asian Disability Services Manager, who will call the names of our recipients. I'll ask all of our recipients to actually stay on stage because we love a good photo opportunity and we wouldn't want to miss that. So, Thuy, are you all right to...
Let's welcome to the stage 5-year service Thuận Trần. Anh Phạm. Anh Ninh. Anh Phạm. Thanh Lâm. Liên Nguyễn. Hiệp Trịnh. Tuyết Hoa Nguyễn. And now 10-year service. Quỳnh Lục. And now 20-year service. Vân Hà. And now last but not least, chị Huệ Văn with 16 years of service.
Thank you so much, Premier. And I'll ask the President to stay, and if you can present our President's report, that'll be marvellous.
Kính chào tất cả quý vị. Vì có một số khách Úc nên tôi sẽ nói tiếng Anh. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you and thank you for taking the time to come to the 41st anniversary of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association. 41 years ago, I met with 15 Vietnamese women to have the first meeting of the organization. We met in the back room of an office near the Victoria Market, and we took the decision to start a women's association with the mission to provide services to all ages and genders. In spite of the name Australian Vietnamese Women's Association, I can assure you we do not discriminate against men. And our staff are both men and women, and our clients also. 6 months after we met, we got our first grant of $200. Now, after 41 years, we own 5 offices across Melbourne, and I would like to thank the Minister for saying how pleased she was to when she came to our Springvale office last year. As we conclude another remarkable year, I'm filled with immense pride and gratitude for the collective efforts that have driven our organization forward. The year 2023-24 has been a year of significant achievements, challenges, and growth. And it's my pleasure to reflect on our journey and extend a heartfelt thanks to those who have made it possible. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to the Committee of Management. Your decision, strategic vision, and tireless work has been instrumental in navigating us through a busy and productive year. The countless hours spent in meetings, planning sessions, and on-the-ground activities have not gone unnoticed. Your commitment to our mission and values has been unwavering, and to that we are all grateful. A special thanks to our CEO, whose leadership and innovative thinking have been essential in steering our organization towards new heights. Your ability to inspire and guide the team has been a cornerstone of our success. Your incredible staff and volunteers, your hard work, to your incredible staff and volunteers, your hard work, passion, and resilience have been the driving force behind our accomplishments. Each of you has played a crucial role in our operations, and your contributions are deeply valued. I'm also honored to share that I have been recognized with the Medal of the Order of Australia as part of the King's Honours. This recognition is a testament to the collective efforts of our entire organization. And I'm deeply humbled by this acknowledgement. As we look back at the 2024 Paris Olympics, I'm reminded of the parallels between the rigorous training of athletes and the dedication of our team. Just as athletes prepare tirelessly for their moment on the world stage, our staff and volunteers have shown remarkable perseverance and commitment to excellence. The hard work, long hours, and unwavering focus on our goals have positioned us for continued success. I would like to extend my gratitude to our members. Your support, engagement, and belief in our mission have been the foundation upon which we build. Your participation in our events, feedback, and contributions have been invaluable, and we are fortunate to have such a dedicated and passionate community. In closing, I want to thank each and every one of you for your dedication, hard work, and support. In particular, I would like to thank all 3 levels of government over the last 41 years for your continued support to our organization. Together we have achieved great things, and I am excited about what the future holds. Let us continue to work together with the same spirit of collaboration and determination that has brought us this far. Thank you very much.
What I'd like to do actually is maybe welcome the comm members to the front here and we can have a photo. That's right. Welcome.
Just a quick photo, because we love a good photo opportunity. Lovely, thank you. I'll get out of the way. And then we might just ask Gaur Mihan, who is our treasurer, to come up and present our financial results for the year. Thank you so much, Gorgam, for your moving words. It's been a great pleasure to work with the comm this year. Thank you, Gorgam.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, our staff, volunteers, clients, our members, and associates. This year marks the 3rd consecutive year that AVWA has achieved a growth rate of approximately 30%. I am pleased to share some of our accomplishments in what has been another financially sustainable year. Our income. AVWA achieved a total income of 44.5 million, reflecting an increase of 32% over last year. This growth stemmed from consistent performance across all key service areas. Age and disability services. Our home care packages program experienced impressive growth of 32.4%, now serving 1,182 clients. The planned activity groups, with 13 groups operating across various regions, reported a 21.3% increase in income. Additionally, the NDIS program continued to expand rapidly, doubling its turnover. Training and vocational services. This year, our training program focused on accredited courses in childcare and aged care to meet rising demand. We deliver 40 classes in these areas, contributing to a remarkable 35% increase in annual turnover. Family and children services and other projects. These services have successfully maintained the level of support throughout the year. Our expenditure. This year, expenses continue to be shaped by the strategic 3-5 plan initiative, resulting in total expenditure of 40.7 million, an increase of 30% compared to last year. Employee benefits remain our highest expense, surging by 29% in 2024, primarily due to rising minimum wages and significant increase in direct care worker wages. Our staff count rose from 340 to 387 employees, further contributing to this increase. Project activity expenses saw a substantial rise of 32%, driven by higher client expenditures, project costs, and an increase in donations and contributions that enhance community engagement and organizational visibility. Operational expenses increased by 38% in 2024, supported by investments in ICT system and hardware under the improving system and process pillar. This includes the implementation of MyCare for our rapidly growing ADS. We recognize the demanding nature of work in recent years and the need for effective support for our staff to reinforce our people-first culture. We launched a health and well-being program and implemented an employee assistance program. Professional development and consulting fees experienced a dramatic 217% increase in 2024, driven by improving system and process initiatives. We directed more resources towards staff training, including LinkedIn Learning Hub, customer service training, manual handling training, and mental health first aid. In our commitment to continuous improvements in efficiency, quality, and customer satisfaction, we embrace lean operational excellence, providing training on lean philosophy and tools to staff at all levels. 4 out of 6 lean projects were successfully implemented across the organization. And our investment in leadership development underscore our focus on enhancing staff skills and capabilities. Notably, KPMG's risk management and clinical care uplift support subject significantly contributed to the rise in consulting expenses. In 2023-2024, we increased spending on office renovations and furnishings to ensure our facilities are well maintained and equipped to support ongoing expansion. Our surplus and the year ahead. Our net surplus from ordinary activities for the year stands at 3.8 million. This outcome positions AVWA strongly to advance our tribal, allowing us to expand our presence in Victoria, cultivate a diverse and inclusive workforce, and continue delivering premium services to the community. Finally, I would like to thank the AVWA Committee of Management for their stewardship and devoted commitment, all of AVWA staff and volunteers for their hard work and dedication. It is all your tireless effort that makes AVWA thriving. I would like to thank all our clients, our members, and associates for their support. Thank you very much.
Well done, Cô Mi Han. Come on. I would like to welcome our wonderful supporter, Dr. Daniel Molino MP, member for Fraser. Dr. Daniel, we appreciate you so much, and I was thinking about all the events that you had attended with us this year, including the Mental Health Roundtable, the Shining Stars Talent Dinner, the White Ribbon Day event, and just most recently the Asian Disability Services Expo. So we thank you ever so much for your support.
Thanks so much, Nikki. And that's just a small reflection of the incredible work of the organisation, and it's always a pleasure to be at any AVWA event. Can I also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I acknowledge the fine words of the Premier, which I think spoke very well to the work of the AVWA and to the importance of the organisation in the Vietnamese community in Victoria, but the broader Victorian community. Can I acknowledge Cindy McLeish and Ellen Sandell, also from the Victorian Parliament. And of course Cook Lam, who has just finished her second term as Mayor, a very prominent leader, an inspirational leader in the Vietnamese community. And as the Premier said, I think the fact that we have people from all levels of government, from right across the parties, I think says so much about what this organisation does and how important it is. We've got Viv Nguyen, we've got Thuy Nguyen from the VCA, Vic. So we've got many other important leaders. Apologies for, and Thuy as well. So we've got many probably that I won't remember, but there's so many important people here from government, from important community organisations. And of course then there's the members of the organisation, there's the clients of the organisation, the workers, the volunteers. I would just like to start by saying that 41 years is an amazing number, and in reflecting on 41 years, I wanted to reflect on the fact that I think as an organisation, I don't think I've seen any other organisation that I deal with do so well in uniting the great legacy of its founders and the hard work and the vibrancy of its current leadership. And so of course we have Cam Nguyen here, the founder, and her amazing legacy, and congratulations on your Order of Australia, very, very well deserved, and please a round of applause for that. And we've just had the King visiting, so a reflection of his wise judgment in that decision. But also Cam, and you also as an important founding member. So we have founding members here, and there are others in the audience who have been working with the organisation for decades. And of course we just had the service awards for people who have been working in the organisation in some instances for decades. So there is that incredible continuity. We have Cam, who can reflect on the fact that the organisation received a $200 grant back at its beginnings, and now we have over $40 million of annual revenue, just that incredible growth, and you've been there the whole time. But then we have Nikki and the next generation of very hard-working, very vibrant, very creative leaders. And it's an organisation that I think does a fantastic job of enabling all of that to work together so effectively. And that's why I think after 41 years, the organisation is as strong as it's ever been, and why, as the Premier said, I think the future is so bright. Can I also just reflect on that number, 41 years, and as Nikki said, next year is the 50th anniversary of the Vietnamese community in Victoria, and I just think it's important to reflect on the fact that the AVWA is an organisation who is such an integral part of that broader story that will be commemorated next year. It has been there with individuals the whole way along that journey and continues to be. So I think that next year is going to be a celebration and a commemoration of the broader Vietnamese community. The AVWA will be central to that, and I think there are going to be many events next year, including the one on Phillip Island, which has been referenced, where the AVWA will be absolutely central. And so I look forward to being at even more events next year than this year, because it is going to be, I think, such a pivotal year. And finally, can I just reflect on the fact that the AVWA has now become an organisation that provides services in the community literally from cradle to grave. So it provides playgroups, it provides services for young families, it provides services for youth, it provides training, incredibly important training opportunities for people in their early careers. It provides NDIS services, and then all the way through to the elderly in the community, whether it be home care packages, support for dementia, aged care. And that wide breadth of services, I think, is truly remarkable. Plus the organisation is doing it. I'm always honoured to follow the treasurer of any organisation, truly important office holder, and it's doing it with a surplus. So you know, the federal government's in surplus. We're taking lessons from the AVWA in your very responsible fiscal management. But look, it's an incredible range of services that are offered, and again, I don't think there's any other organisation that I deal with that supports people right across their lives in every single respect. And I think the fact that the revenues are going up is not so much a matter of numbers rising. What I think it reflects really is the fact that you are a trusted partner of government in so many areas of what we do. And the fact that your role is growing is a reflection of the fact that you are performing so well in so many of those areas. So thank you very much for the chance to be here. It's always uplifting to be at an AVWA event, and every single general meeting that I go to, the story just grows, and it's a real privilege to be here today. Thank you.
For all the support that you provide to us all through the year, I'd like to offer you some lucky bamboo. We have the first of many pieces of entertainment. Oh, I can't stand in here. We have Thường that are going to be performing for us today. Charlie's going to say a few words, I think, before we start. Oh, okay. She's chicken out. That's all right. Well, we look forward to your performance. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to be a moment. Oh.
Apologies, folks. Just whilst we're sorting that out, I just wanted to say hello to a few people in the crowd, actually. I really wanted to welcome Neville Goodwin and Phil Dressing, who I spotted earlier from the National Vietnam Veterans Museum down on the beautiful Bass Coast, Phillip Island. Welcome, thank you so much for being here. I know that you've travelled quite a distance to be here, and we're really looking forward to partnering with you for our March event next year. Thank you so much for making it. And my apologies also, I didn't welcome, I apologise, Miss Ellen Sandell, member for Melbourne, who has also joined us here today. Apologies that I missed you earlier. Just checking with the team to see how we're going. Thank you so much to Cha and the Hung Sua team. You guys are amazing, thank you. I would like to welcome to the stage our wonderful Ang Boy. This is so funny because last year you were introducing me and this year I'm introducing you. So Ang is our absolutely wonderful mental health and wellbeing coordinator, and she's an absolute superstar. So welcome to the stage.
Hi everyone, and thank you Nikki for introducing me. I'm really proud to be here to represent for my team of health and well-being. My name is Hải Anh, but you can call me Anh Bùi. I would like to spend today to have a little talk about how our growing in mental health program that we are aiming towards the next year. So can I have the next slides? So at the beginning, I would like to introduce you to the Pathway of Wellbeing projects that we have launched on 12th of February 2024. So we have a few project partners in here, including Victoria, including legal health centers, CQU, and so possibly that maybe I can just take us over the slides if I can. Just move it. So we partnership these projects with legal health centers, and so possibly just standing here to see it's better. Victoria Mental Health Legal Center, CQ University, and Legal Tech Helper. The objective of this project is to improve access to mental health and legal services for Vietnamese Victorians through culturally tailored web applications. So if you notice that we already got a mental health web-based app launch, thank you so much, for on March earlier this year. The target audience that we have in here is for the Vietnamese community in Victoria, known for under-utilizing mental health service due to cultural stigma and language barriers. So that is the aim and the project rationale that I would like to introduce you for that. So for the next slides, I would like to introduce to the key barriers and challenges that the key findings from the project. The first one is the language barrier. So it has always been known that the language barriers has placed a significant stigma for people to looking for the mental health services, which leads to limited access to Vietnamese language, mental health, and legal resources. And so they are highly reliant on interpreters who are often misunderstood or fear to cost extra for that. The second key barrier is reluctance to seek help. So there has been a huge fear of reputational damage in a small and tiny community, such as the Vietnamese community, and is exacerbated by a lack of trust in existing services. It's always been known that our Vietnamese community has been so small and close-knit, so we are always afraid that someone might know our story for that, and this is really confidential. The last one is a cultural stigma. So mental health issues are often viewed as madness or karma and discourage help seeking for them. Or they can call that, or literally translate that as niên. So it's a really negative wording for that. And so which cause a lot of people who are reluctant to seek help due to a cultural stigma. So for the next slides, this is how, so you might find it pretty familiar about this window about pathways to well-being that we're promoting on our AVWA website. With the early result, we have over 600 visits in the first 2 months, with users primarily seeking information on mental health and legal services. The core benefits that we brought to our community is providing anonymous access to culturally sensitive information in both Vietnamese and English, helping users to overcome stigma and language barriers. After this project, we aim to scale the project to serve more culturally and linguistically diverse communities and expanding the resources for our Vietnamese community to expand and to able to seek more help in the mental health services. And just a small view of how mental health services has been established and how it has been going in the last year. So in 2022 and 2023, there is over 22.7 million patients that access through Medicare subsidized mental health specific services, or they are called MBS. There are 49% of services were provided by psychologists, and 20% by GP, the rest is 20% by psychiatrists. So all of those cohort has been known to support clients and patients to seeking help for mental health services. And there are 13 of females access services compared to 8% of males. So as you can see, the number has been shown that females are more tend to seeking help than male. The spending of mental health related services has been significant, about 10 $11.9 billion in 2017 and 2018 to $12.2 billion in 2021 and 2022. There was almost $1.5 billion was spent on mental health related services on the Medicare services, and $7.4 billion was spent on state and territory mental health services, which included our current services that we are having now. So for the next slides, I will show you the current services. So I will just briefly through here for AOD counseling, gambling counseling, Indo-Chinese prisoner support programs, psychosocial support programs, family violence prevention, and mental health literacy and inclusion program, which is about to end in December 2024. But here is what the services that we're providing is mostly for mandated clients who already suffer negative consequences. So combining those two, that from the findings from the pathway to well-being with the spending of Medicare that we are already noticed from the AIHW and the current health and well-being service that we are having, we noticed that there is a huge gap of people of Vietnamese community who has limited access to mental health services. So I'm going to introduce you for the next slide that this is the new mental health counseling services that we are going to present hopefully by next year or by the end of this year, which include individual counseling and group counseling for that. So I will explain a little bit more about how this is going to help with for this slide. So this is our co-focused psychological strategy, which is rebated by Medicare under allied services, together with OT, speech pathologists, and etc. For allied health. So every client is eligible for bulk billing from 6 to 8 sessions per calendar year, with mental health treatment plan, which has to be approved by a GP. But the procedures this procedure is not too hard to navigate through our clients because we have a few inquiries for that. So as the first one to achieve the accredited mental health social worker in my team, so I'm proud to present that this is what I can offer for the mental health counseling services. So this includes psychoeducation, CBT, relaxation strategy, and skill training. The more specific and the more, especially for mental health issues, is interpersonal therapy and narrative therapy. So these are pretty common to everyone in the community to access and to be benefit from. And we believe that this is something that can be benefit, and we hope to aim for the price and the fee to be reduced as much as possible to make it accessible to all the Vietnamese community members. And for the last slides, I would like to point out our key expectations and what we hope to achieve. The first one is we really want to support the communities who have struggling with mental health issues, or just for family members who want to understand more about mental health. So they are also eligible for 2 sessions per calendar year with a mental health social worker to make sure that it's affordable for every Vietnamese community members. The second one is we noticed that there are a cultural stigma and a reluctance to seek help, as well as the language barrier. Therefore, we want to fill the gap by these services to make it general instead of providing AOD or gambling or family violence prevention, just for those who are mandated and who are already suffering the consequences. This can be identified as an early prevention that we can help the Vietnamese community members to understand more about mental health and to able to navigate through the mental health system. And the last one is opening up the opportunity for future mental health services, which can help our organizations, AVWA, to attract more fundings or attract more small projects related to mental health services that we couldn't do that in the past. So we're hoping that we can expand the team of health and well-being to ensure that we can provide other services to the general, and not just for the mandated clients. So this is just a snapshot about how we can provide our services in the really short time ahead. And so we hopefully that this is just an introduction to that, and we are hoping that to have an official launch to the services by the earliest that we can. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Anne. You really represent AVWA's values. You exemplify them all. Your just amazing. So thank you so much. I'd like to welcome to the stage Vivian Nguyen, AM, Chair of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. Such a hard-working person. Thanks, Vivian.
Good afternoon. I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are gathering here at Kensington Town Hall, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Pay my respect to their elders, past and present. I acknowledge Nikki Chung, CEO of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association, Viet-Úc, President and founder of the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association, Go Đặng Trần Thanh Khâm, founder and vice president of the organisation. Federal member for Fraser, Daniel Molino, state member for Melbourne, Alan Sandel, and representing the leader of the opposition, Cindy McClish. I also want to acknowledge some of the community organisations that are here with us this afternoon. The Vietnamese Spring Valley Seniors Association, Go Thuy and Go Ngân, the Australian Vietnamese Arts and Culture, Go Mai Hương, the Vietnamese Community Australian Victorian Chapter, Mr. Nguyễn Quang Ly, and I can see a good friend from the community, Dr. Michael Carrera from the Victorian Vietnamese Community Council of Victoria. Many community leaders, service providers, to each and every one of you for making the time to join us here today. I was with the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association at your 40th anniversary at the Immigration Museum last year. And I do remember Bakam making the point that you started from year 0 with literally nothing, and 40 years later it is a big number. And that big number isn't a number on its own, but it is a number that it has been reaching out to support the people who are in need and to expand and to cultivate the leaders that we are seeing here some 41 years later. I also thought that it was very fitting to have the introductory song about You Raise Me Up. One of the really important things that I find with the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association is the way in which you respect the Vietnamese culture and traditions. Where you are today is the foundation of the work that has been done by the people who came before us, for the good and for the not so good. Whatever they are strong and solid foundations for Nikki and the team to be able to build on and to grow and to support not just Vietnamese people, but the broader multicultural community here in Victoria. The second thing that I'd like to mention is that as a major service provider here in Victoria, along with other service providers like Jewish Care, Konya, Co-Acid, Australian Multicultural Services, you are working together to shift the policy aspects to improve the sector and to make sure that the people who are in your care are continually supported to be able to live their life and to be able to participate fully in Australia. That is a very important thing that I'm so glad to see the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association continually to advocate for all here in Victoria. And the third point that I'd like to mention is that you also reflect the needs of the Vietnamese people, particularly leveraging your networks and your contacts to support the social cohesion here in Victoria. It is very important. Nikki and I were at the forum on Monday, where we had the honour of listening to the Federal Member for Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Tony Burke, and he made this point. Diversity isn't about each community or each and one of us owning our own bits. It is about everyone coming together. There is enough room, enough space, enough place for all story, everyone's story to be included in Australia. And that is the work that I see the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association continuing to do. Working amongst yourselves, working along others to really strengthen and protect and defend the social cohesion that we much need here in Australia and in Victoria. Kính thưa quý bác, quý cô, quý anh, quý chị. Xin đại diện cho Hội đồng Đa văn hóa Sự vụ Tiểu bang Victoria có đôi lời đến với Hội Tương trợ Phụ nữ Việt-Úc nhân dịp 41 năm Đại hội thường niên của Hội ngày hôm nay. Trước hết, Phường Vĩ chân thành cảm ơn Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc lúc nào cũng quan tâm về văn hóa, ngôn ngữ, truyền thống người Việt. Lúc nào cũng nghĩ tới một hội đoàn 41 năm có rất nhiều những sự đóng góp của những người tiên phong đi trước, ủng hộ, đóng góp để đào tạo một tổ chức được lớn mạnh như ngày hôm nay, vững vàng về văn hóa, vững vàng về tài chính và vững vàng về tương lai cho phục vụ cho khách của mình và hỗ trợ cho nhân viên của mình. Rất vui khi thấy Hội Tương trợ Phụ nữ Việt-Úc đóng góp nhiều trong việc vận động những chính sách cho cao niên, cho khuyết tật, cho trẻ em, cho phụ nữ. Đó là những điều vô cùng quan trọng mà cộng đồng chúng ta gần 50 năm định cư tại Úc giữ vai trò quan trọng trong việc vận động, đóng góp về những chính sách của chính phủ tiểu bang cũng như liên bang. Và đặc biệt, rất vui khi thấy Hội Phụ nữ đảm nhiệm vai trò đóng góp vào công việc tưởng niệm 50 năm cộng đồng người Việt định cư tại Úc năm tới với một chương trình với Viện Bảo tàng Chiến tranh Việt Nam tại Phillip Island. Đối với Phường Vĩ, một người đến Úc và là một người đến Úc trên con tàu định cư hơn 40 năm qua, cuộc chiến Việt Nam là một điều Phường Vĩ tin rằng người Việt chúng ta cần phải nhắc tới và cần phải lưu lại cho con cháu của mình để chúng ta có thể hiểu được tại sao chúng ta đến Úc, chúng ta làm gì và chúng ta đóng góp gì cho văn hóa truyền thống của người Việt cũng như cho một xã hội đa văn hóa hài hòa tại Úc. Xin chân thành cảm ơn quý vị sẽ cho Phường Vĩ có cơ hội trình bày với quý vị đôi lời ngày hôm nay nhân dịp 41 năm Đại hội thường niên của Hội Phụ nữ Việt-Úc. Kính chúc quý cô, quý chú, quý cô nhiều hơn quý chú rồi, quý cô lúc nào cũng mạnh khỏe, vui vẻ và phục vụ cho khách hàng và hướng dẫn cũng như hỗ trợ cho nhân viên được nhiều sức khỏe cũng như là đóng góp nhiều cho xã hội. Xin chân thành cảm ơn.
May I just present you, tap Vivian on the shoulder there. Lucky bamboo for you too. Such kind words. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. I would like to welcome Cindy McLeish to the stage. Cindy is representing Mr. John Pursuto, the opposition leader, and also Mr. Trung Lu. Cindy is also the member for Eildon. Thank you so much for being here today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Other than representing John and Trung, I'm sure you know Trung very well, I'm also the Shadow Minister for Women and Prevention of Family Violence, among a number of other things. But I was just thinking how proud the Australian Vietnamese Women's Association should be of themselves. We've had so many acknowledgements already of the people who are here today from levels of government, friends from other communities and further afield. You should be very proud that your standing is such that people are very keen to be here to support you. And in the instance of brevity, I won't repeat all the acknowledgements. I was thinking though, you know, when Cam and Cum were young women, maybe 41 years ago, and they were considerably, you know, young at that time, they identified the need to support the community, to support their members who've come from another country to navigate a new lifestyle, a new way of doing things, and know that it's really difficult. And they recognised there was a lot of things that they could do. And things have changed, but there's still a need. And it's incredible that you've been able to grow to the extent that you have. Your balance sheet is incredibly impressive, I must say, just reading through the financials. But I think Daniel mentioned earlier, you have programs from cradle to grave, whether it is your aged care, the play group, training in between, but it's all around linking communities, linking people and families to their communities. for that support, so things are easy for them, so everything is not a battle. There's not barriers everywhere. And through the care that you have offered for that period of time, helping people navigate even the training system and then offering the training themselves, is a great example of connectedness and caring and wanting to help, because there are so many challenges and there continue to be challenges. And the AVWA is helping navigate that and making changes. But the foundation, of course, is the people. It was the people then, and some of them are still involved now, and now the time, the effort, the nous, the business enterprise, and the dedication to becoming what you are now, and the planning for the future. And you can see how bold the stage is today, and that's so indicative of the organisation itself being bold. I love how you work to empower communities. That's so important, particularly women, for people to become self-reliant, to have the initiative to connect with people, with services, and that enterprise element that you bring. And these are such the essence of the Vietnamese culture and the values of family, hard work and tradition. And through those 4 decades, you have managed to keep your eye on that and blend and work so cohesively and really have a great standing within the Victorian community. I thank you so much for what you've brought and what you continue to bring. You should be very proud of your achievements. I'm sure you are, but I think the rest of Victoria is equally proud of what you do and how you carry yourself, that ongoing dedication. And I wish you all the best for the next year. You've had a boomer last year, we've heard, under Nikki's leadership, and I'm sure that things will just grow and get better, certainly with the mental health support that we've heard about. Thank you.
Please stop and you, if you don't mind. I would like to present to you one of our Long La, which is kind of cool hat. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to welcome up Mr. Nguyen from the Victorian Community Australia, VCA Vic. Thank you so much for being here, Nguyen.
Thank you. Mr. Nguyen, President of the Vietnamese Australian Women Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Vietnamese community, at first I would like to say thank you for inviting me, and that I have some few words. And the first, congratulations to 41st AGM. I think your achievement is not only the best in the Vietnamese community, but the best to Australian non-profit organization, and not only in Victoria. I think not only in Victoria, I think in Australia overall. I take the opportunity to thank you for all of your support, and I hope we will, the Vietnamese community always work together and get the support from the Vietnamese Australian Women Association. May speak few Vietnamese words. Thưa với lại bạn Cẩm Nguyễn, hội trưởng của Hội Phụ nữ Úc Việt, kính thưa toàn thể quý vị quan khách, kính thưa quý đồng hương. Thì thưa quý vị, đầu tiên là xin có một cái lời coi như là chúc mừng Hội Phụ Nữ đã đạt được 41 năm. Không phải chỉ có cái việc thực hiện, không phải chỉ là một cái hội mà tốt nhất ở trong cái cộng đồng của người Việt của mình, mà nó là tốt nhất, tôi nghĩ rằng là trong cái cộng đồng của Úc nói chung, và không chỉ phải ở Victoria mà ở toàn nước Úc nói chung. Thì thưa quý vị, Hội Phụ Nữ Úc Việt không phải chỉ có giúp cho người Việt nói chung, mà là giúp cho toàn thể người Úc, cũng như là luôn luôn sát cánh đóng góp với cộng đồng người Việt tự do. Thì cũng tôi rất mong nhân cái cơ hội này xin được cảm ơn Hội Phụ Nữ, cũng như xin được cũng là mong muốn là ở trong cái tương lai luôn luôn được cộng tác, cũng như là được sự hỗ trợ của Hội Phụ Nữ Úc Việt. Xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị.
Thank you so much for that. We're really looking forward to the big Hội Dipper next year at Footscray Park, so we're looking forward to that. Let's have a photo together.
Yes. I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of you to our Tết Festival. Will be organized on 15 and 16 February at the Footscray Park. Nhân cái cơ hội này thì chị Ngọc vừa nói, thì xin kính mời tất cả quý vị, kính mời chị Cẩm cũng như Hội Phụ Nữ cũng như tất cả quý vị tham dự hội chợ Tết cộng đồng sẽ được tổ chức vào 2 ngày 15 và 16 tháng 2 năm 2025 sắp tới ở tại Footscray Park. Thì chủ đề của ngày hôm nay, năm tới sẽ là 50 năm định cư và 50 năm tự do cho. Dạ, xin kính mời tất cả quý vị.
I'm so excited that the entertainment that is coming to you now is actually our AVWA choir. They're called Mum Nhi, and that actually translates to fish sauce. So here we are having a wonderful performance with thường joining them as well. And the song that they're going to be singing is called Drum Gom, which means rice drum. Thank you so much, you guys. Looking forward to it. They asked me to join, and I said, for your benefit, I don't think that's a good idea. honoured to come and help me out with that. And then we have one more performance and then we have a light lunch coming to you. So thank you so much for being here today, everybody. We've got my Lang. Are you going to come up with us? We just need to make sure that everyone, all the members are okay for the auditors for next year. DFKBKN.
Dạ thưa quý vị, cô Ngọc có nói rằng chúng ta cần phải thông qua các hội viên có đồng ý để cho BKM, tức là công ty kế toán mà auditor kiểm chứng kế toán 2 năm vừa rồi phục vụ cho hội của mình, thì quý vị ban quản trị cũng như các thành viên, các hội viên có đồng ý để tiếp tục cho cái ban này tiếp tục cho năm tới hay là không? Xin quý vị giơ tay vào. Quý vị nào có được cái thẻ màu xanh thì vui lòng giơ thẻ xanh. Còn nếu ai không có thẻ xanh mà mình là hội viên thì mới giơ tay lên để bầu. Xin cảm ơn. Xin mời anh Huy kiểm chứng giùm Lan.
Dạ, còn phần lớn quý vị là gì? Cảm ơn chị.
Dạ, cảm ơn quý vị rất nhiều.
That's the majority. Fabulous. Thank you so much, my love. Wow, we are going to get ready for our last performance of the day, which is the Friday line dancing group. Are we ready to go? Are they backstage? Ready to go? Hold that applause. Hold that applause. What are we waiting for? Oh, good. All right, wonderful. I'll get off stage. This is our Friday line and dancing group, and they are from the Springvale office. Welcome to the stage, ladies. They're coming just from this side here. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you so much for that wonderful performance. To a traditional Vietnamese song by Niên. Thank you so much. You're welcome. All right, folks, we are drawing to a conclusion. There is just a list of people that I'd like to thank before we end. Thank you to Hoài Phương. You're amazing. The ponies had to leave, unfortunately. Dr. Daniel Molino, Vivian Nguyen, Andui Nguyen, Haiyan, who presented on the mental health program, Khun Sua, our dance troupe, Mum Yi, our choir, our Friday dance troupe, and of course our wonderful committee of management staff and volunteers. Thank you to all of our partners, thank you to all of our future partners and supporters who are here today. I hope you've all enjoyed a very interesting AGM style, perhaps. And before a light lunch is brought to you, may I just have one more round of applause for yourselves. Thank you. All right, I think that's it. Enjoy the light lunch. Oh, and Khun Yoon, who has been streaming live for us as well. Thank you, Huy, for the little reminder. Cảm ơn anh. Yes. If you would like to stay in your place, and lunch will be served to you where you're sitting for your convenience. If you've got any dietary requirements, please do let us know, and hopefully we'll be able to cater for them. But thank you so much, everybody.